Welcome to Cheap Pops.
You're doing that crap again?
Yeah.
When did you turn into gold dust all of a sudden?
Welcome to Cheap Pops.
All right.
I'm Nick.
I'm Dave, and if you've never watched us before, we talk about wrestling, we talk about movies, we talk about pretty much anything pop culture. And speaking of that, rest in peace, James Earl Jones, the iconic voice of Darth Vader. Of course, he was in other movies too, like The Sandlot, but for me, it'll always be Darth Vader.
Yes.
You know, 93 years old. It sucks that he's gone, but you know, I know he was having health problems, so that really sucks. But one thing I didn't tell you is one day when you were working and you couldn't go, I went and saw Borderlands in the theater.
Ooh.
This movie is getting a lot of hate, and I know it bombed at the box office. It only made I think it made less than $20 million. I thought it was good. I've never played the game, but judging based just on the movie, I thought it was good. I thought Jamie Lee Curtis did really well in it as well. So
my biggest thing is I want to see Claptrap.
Yeah. I like I said, I don't know the game, but just for the movie experience, I really liked it. So, do you want to talk about our trip, or do you want to go right into Bash in Berlin?
Let's talk about our trip.
All right, go ahead. You start on. Tell them what happened.
Oh, it was so much fun going to New Jersey. I love the new setup that this man got for the Jeep.
Yeah, I have an in-dash DVD player now for when we take road trips. So.
Yeah. And at the beginning of the trip, I got a new tattoo.
Yep.
Looks sick. And what was it, 4 hours there?
It was 4 hours. Yeah, it was a 4-hour drive. 8 hours round trip.
Yeah. But it was worth it having the DVD player in that now.
Yep. So where'd we go?
We went to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Yep. I'm a huge fan of Kevin Smith's movies. Not so much Mallrats and Chasing Amy, but when you get into Jay and Silent Bob, Strike Back, and Clerks 2 and Clerks 3, and Tusk, I'll never watch it a second time because that movie is just weird. Red State I really liked.
Dogma,
yeah, Dogma's just... But Clerks 2 is my favorite.
Yes.
So we figured we'd make a pilgrimage down to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, and...
Well worth it.
Yeah, it was... I'll post the pictures after I get done editing all this and put it up. We took a lot of pictures. They had the full suit from Tusk and just memorabilia everywhere. I thought the shop was going to be bigger.
Yeah.
And I'm not complaining. I mean, They had a lot of really cool stuff. Both you and I wanted to get the little figurine of the Buddy Christ, but they only had autographed ones, and I didn't want to pay $50 for an autographed one. I wanted one that I could put on my dashboard of my car. I'm going to look on their website and see maybe if they sell them. But
speaking of Buddy Christ.
Yep, I like that shirt. I thought this was cool. This is supposed to be the half sleeve shirt, but for me with the T-Rex arms, it's a full sleeve. I really like it though. It fits really good.
I gotta ask, why aren't you seizing the boy?
Something wrong with you. So
yes, we watched so many freaking movies, people.
What did you get while we were down there?
Oh.
You got that shirt.
Got this shirt. I also got that shirt that you're wearing.
Yep.
A couple of stickers.
Yep.
And that was it.
We both wanted the Movies hat with the horns, but it was like $45. We plan on going down again because it was just cool to make the trip down. I probably will buy that Movies hat. They had Jason masks with Jay and Silent Bob's face on them, and they were autographed. Those were less expensive than the Movies hat, which I thought was kind of weird. And they had the Movies character Funko Pop signed by Kevin Smith. I do want to get one of those, but this is just a movie sticker that I got.
Not only that, but they had a Quick Stop work shirt and a movie shirt.
Yeah, those were they were like $75.
The only way I would get the movie shirt if it says what it says in the movie, and I'm not going to say it.
Oh, yeah. The porch monkey for life? Yeah, I'll say it. I don't know. I got this as well. It's the from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, the Union card. This is the Silent Bob one.
Is it cool that you're bringing it back?
Yeah.
Are you bringing it back?
I'm not bringing it back. Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash patch that's going to go on my G-Pops hockey jersey. I'm going to put patches all down the sleeves. One wrestling and the other pop culture stuff. Got a Movies logo pin and a Buddy Christ sticker. So we had a good time. It was really cool to just look at the memorabilia. I think next time we might spend more time looking around, but we were just, it had been a long day. The 4-hour drive and the anticipation of going down, yes. I think really, and then where did we go after that?
To the Quick Stop.
That's right.
The one thing that surprised me that was still there, the little payphone.
Yeah, they had a payphone out there. That was kind of cool. I mean, if you're a Kevin Smith fan, you know about the Quick Stop. I mean, that's where they filmed the original Clerks, and it's weaved in and out of all of his movies. So they did have the RST video shirt with staff on the back. I do want to get one of those. And I think they had Quick Stop shirts there, too. The one thing, though, when I went to buy what I just bought, I think I just bought like a bottle of water or something. And he pointed to the sign, there was a $7 minimum for using credit cards. Like, dude, seriously, it's 2024. Every business needs to take credit cards. I get that you have to pay fees, but still, come on. How many credit card, transactions are you doing in a day? And then he said, well, if you add 50 cents, I don't have to, it doesn't have to be a minimum. Then add 50 cents. I really don't give a shit. It's just, I don't understand. But we had a great time. That was the point of it.
Yes.
Like we said, we are going to go back down again. So
how many twists and turns did we have to make just to go to Quick Stop, though?
That's true. New Jersey, I got 2 new names for your state. One is the toll booth state, like George Carlin says. Number 2 is the road work state.
Yeah.
And if you want to go 3, it's the K-Rail state. Just there was. I'm sure I'm going to get a bill because I didn't have a change to go through these toll booths, so I went through the Easy Pass. So I'm sure I'm going to get a bill because whatever. But it was a good time. That's all that matters.
So much fun.
We had Clerks 2 in the DVD player on the way down. Tried Dogma, but we couldn't figure out how to. But I finally figured out how to get it to work, so we'll probably watch Dogma. And then we watched some wrestling on the way back, so that was fun. So,
it was my pick on the way back.
Yeah, it just, this is what we like to do. We like going on road trips. I want to take him down to a store in Queens at some point. They're having Vince Russo for a signing, but I couldn't get the day off. But I'll keep my eye out. Bro. I'll keep my eye out for when they're doing more, but
no, I liked meeting Eric Bischoff a lot better.
Yeah, but I kind of like to meet Russo. Just to say I did, but still, did you watch Bash in Berlin?
Yes, I did. But
before we go.
Bro, you wanted to say, bro, that I met the bro himself, Vince Russo.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Bro.
We need like a ticker on the bottom of the screen. I'm not going to do that, by the way. What did you think of Bash in Berlin?
It was really good.
I thought it was good. And the one thing I will say, the crowd in France was singing way too much and was chanting way too much. This crowd in Berlin, they were doing it off and on. They were paying attention to the matches more than the crowd in France was. So I did enjoy that. I thought it was really good. Jeez, I don't even have my notes out. What's wrong? A really awesome opening video. I have to say the production value since Kevin Dunn has been gone have been amazing.
Yes.
New camera angles. I really wish they would go back to doing Titantron videos. They have so much footage of these guys. They could do really cool Titantron videos instead of doing just the graphic of their name, but that's just me.
I want to say about after Bash in Berlin, what happened on Monday Night Raw.
Go ahead.
The encounter between Gunther and Bret Hart.
Oh yeah, that was just a few days ago. Yeah, where he said that his favorite wrestler is Goldberg and Bret Hart. I haven't watched the whole thing. I just saw the clip. I mean, that's funny. That's trolling, you know, the internet fans. So that's cool. I wasn't expecting them to start off with the WWE title. I liked Cole and Barrett being Michael Cole and Wade Barrett being the announcers. I thought that was a nice change. The crowd noise and the enthusiasm is insane, especially in those arenas. You can't really feel it as much in the stadiums, but when it's in an arena like that where the sound travels, it's really amazing. I loved Kevin Owens. The match, by the way, was Kevin Owens against Randy Orton against Cody Rhodes for the WWE title. I loved Owens doing a great frog splash from the apron to the floor. For a guy his size to be able to do what he can do, like he takes Vader's, athleticism and multiplies it by 100. The stuff that Kevin Owens can do is insane.
And he's gotten in a lot of good shape lately.
Yeah, I mean he's kept himself really good. I think a lot of those guys spend a lot of time at the Performance Center, so that helps him. He was always a good athlete. I mean, watch any of his Ring of Honor stuff, and he's a crazy athlete. It's just weird to see a guy that's, almost close to 300 pounds doing the stuff that he does. It's crazy. Owens was like conflicted during the match. Should he capitalize? Should he not? It was good.
It was a really good match. It was a good match.
Cody ended up retaining using the crossroads, and then they shook hands and hugged at the end. Good match. I mean, I don't want to do blow by blow of these matches. I'm not going to be Jim Cornette and tell you nothing that is wrong with Jim Cornette. I love listening to his podcast, but I don't need to hear every move and everything that happened in the match. That's just. Next was the women's tag titles: Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill against Isla Dawn and what the hell's Alba Fire. These names, just it's like they took a baby book and went to certain letters and just picked out the weirdest names they could find.
That's Vince for you.
Yeah. I thought it was a good tag match. I really liked Jade and Bianca as a team, and they ended up regaining the tag titles. I mean, I'm not going to be like Jim Cornette and say it's a women's tag match, so no, it was a good match. I like the women's division in WWE. I like the women's division in AEW. So I thought it was a good match, but
WWE more than AEW?
Well, certain ones, who my favorites are, but
don't lie, you love Nia Jax.
No, I really don't, but
sure you do. You just want her to sit on your lap.
Yeah, no. I've got enough weight of my own. I don't need her to add to it. To me, the next match was the match of the night, the strap match. Drew McIntyre against CM Punk. The story that they told in this match, the story that they told leading up to this match, has just been chef's kiss. Yeah, it just this reminds me of the Mega Power storyline.
Yes,
where it just kept on going and going, but you never lost interest. They can keep doing this until WrestleMania, in my opinion. And if Seth Rollins gets better, you make it a triple threat at WrestleMania, and you just let these guys do what they do and tell a story in an amazing match. Because there's so many dynamics you can go with this, even if you don't have Seth Rollins. It's amazing.
And now we're leading into Bad Blood, and it's going to be Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool. To me, it's cool that it was a strap match, but the touching the four corners, to me, I never really... It doesn't excite me. It's not...
I got it best if it was a bull rope match doing that.
But to me, it just... Maybe if I was more old school and I had seen more strap matches or bull rope matches when I was a kid, and the nostalgia factor came in... I mean, even the Eddie Guerrero JBL one, that had a lot of fire and a lot of story. Yes. But the strap match, to me, just doesn't... I get the whole whipping each other with the strap, and you use the strap so the guy can't get away. Same with a dog collar match or a chain match. But the touching of the four corners, I get how it can add, excitement to the match, but it just isn't for me. You know, kind of like the multi-man matches now are just kind of, I'll watch them, and some of them I like, but they're just not.
Oh, don't lie. You love your multi-man matches.
Right. I did like how Punk did a GTS before he touched every turnbuckle. That was pretty cool.
Yes.
And then he grabbed the bracelet and hit the fourth buckle, the charm bracelet.
Oh, let's not forget that he kissed the charm bracelet.
Yeah, I didn't notice that at the time. Punk ended up winning, but when he kissed the bracelet, it had been down in Drew's trunks, the whole match. So he's basically kissing Drew's balls, which I thought was kind of funny when somebody pointed that out on social media. You can always count on wrestling fans to point out the minute details that other ones didn't remember. So that's pretty cool. What did you think of the next match? Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan against Priest and Rhea Ripley.
I kind of skimmed through it because I was making supper at the time. Sorry!
I thought it was a really good mixed tag.
Because I'm making supper and looking in at the same time, like...
Right. I mean, this story is another one that's been built up really well with the Judgment Day and then Liv Morgan coming in and everything.
And they're still building it up and it's getting better.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much they can do with it. This one, that's the thing. I like the way Triple H runs things.
Yes.
He knows how to build a story and how to keep it going. And I think leading into WrestleMania, I really don't want to see The Rock, but I know it's going to happen. But, I mean, you can have John Cena against Randy Orton. You can have John Cena. There's so much stuff. I mean, you're going to have one full year of John Cena again. You've got all these guys. You got the Wyatt Six, who they're doing some stuff with them, but they're going to do more. And I'm not really excited about where they're going with Gunther, with him wrestling Sami Zayn again at Bad Blood. I'm not really... I think that feud kind of ran its course, but... it's given Sammy a world title match, I'll let it go.
Right, and if it can give Gunther back a win, I'm all for it.
Yeah. But this match, Rhea Ripley is so over. It's
yes.
insane. I mean, she's beautiful. She's that goth chick, but she's really good. Like, I'll take Rhea Ripley 10 times over Charlotte Flair any day.
Yes.
Any day. To me, how you can look at somebody like Rhea Ripley and then say that Charlotte Flair is the best women's wrestler ever. I don't understand. The Judgment Day had failed interference, and Rhea did her, like, folding up the woman pin, the sexual pin for the win. So that's she's going to keep doing that because it's going to keep getting responses. So, I mean, it looks good anyway, so...
Calm down there.
I'd let her pin me like that, but,
Calm down.
Do I have any... I only got one page. That's all there was. All right. The main event, Orton versus Gunther. Of course, it's in Germany. Yes, Gunther's Austrian, but they speak German in Austria, and, so...
And I think it was better than their first match outgoing.
I do, too. That high-definition camera, I don't know if it's like an 8K or whatever camera they use for the entrances, or sometimes they use it in the ring for the introductions. When Orton was in the aisleway and they were singing his song, and just that camera, I don't know what it is, but it just makes it look amazing. It kind of makes it look 3D, but it's not.
And my TV being a 75 and it's 4K,
yeah,
it pops out a lot.
Yeah, and mine's not 4K, and it still looks amazing. So the crowd was fired up, and it's great. I mean, yeah, they were singing some, but they weren't... It wasn't annoying. And I know I've railed on this before, but too many chants and too much singing takes me out of it.
Right.
But this was just the right amount where it wasn't distracting. That's my thing. It's distracting to me. And it makes me feel like they're not really engaged in the match. When I used to go to independent shows and I used to really get into the shows, would I chant? Absolutely. But was I chanting non-stop during the match to make... Even the ECW fans didn't chant non-stop in the matches. And they were, the ones that got all the bad publicity for being the fans that chanted too much. They didn't chant as much as these fans do now. And I'm not throwing shade on the fans. Go, have a good time. Do what you do. As long as you're not blowing whistles and the horns that they used to do over in the UK. To me, like when I watched SummerSlam 92, when they're blowing the horns and all that stuff and they're doing their chants too, it takes me out of, but whatever, I'm going to stop ranting.
I know you're going to rant some more, but, shit, I forgot what I was going to say about the with the fans and shit.
Well, you keep thinking on it.
Shut up.
One thing I want to ask, and I've talked about this before.
You're selling shit.
How is it okay for Randy Orton, in clear eye shot of the referee, to drop Gunther on the announce table 4 times? 4! While the referee's counting, and then the steel steps, and then drives him through the announce table itself, while the ref's just standing there counting. No warning, no say, hey, get back in the ring, nothing. I know, it's a PLE, and it's the world title, and it's in Berlin, and it's the hometown thing. But Earl Hebner would have been outside the ring screaming for them to get back in the ring.
Yes.
Timmy White would have been outside the ring saying, get back in the ring, damn it, or I'm going to disqualify you. Nick Patrick would tell the NWO to knock it off and to get back in the ring. It's just stuff like that crawls up my ass sideways. And I sound like an old man yelling at clouds, and I don't care. It's just, I'm not saying he needed to disqualify him, but he's dropping him on the thing. What would he have done if he took the ring bell and just bashed him in the head right in front of the referee? And I know you can say the same thing about AEW, where they do stuff in front of the referee, and that bothers me too. I'm sure when we review, because I'm going to give him the pay-per-views so he can watch them, because there are some good matches on All In and All Out. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to mention some of that in that too. So it just, whatever.
You done?
And Cole tried to explain it away. Oh, well, it's on the outside of the ring. And that made me think of just Jesse Ventura's famous comment. Shivani, can you shoot somebody just because it's outside the ring?
Yeah.
Really, that's what, why try to explain it away? Just say that the referee, have Barrett be the heel announcer, say that why isn't the referee doing his job? Why isn't he disqualifying Randy Orton? That way Gunther can retain the title.
That's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
That they can, they could have done more matches with Randy Orton and stuff if it would have ended with a disqualification.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be... I'd rather see more with them.
I would rather see a rematch with Randy Orton than I would Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And that's nothing against Sami Zayn. He's a great performer. He's a great character. Just, I don't want to see that feud anymore.
No.
I saw enough of it over the Intercontinental title. I don't want to see it anymore. So, and Gunther made Orton pass out with a sleeper, and he retained the title. It was a good match. I'm not complaining. It was a good match. I mean, Orton's going to give you a good match anytime. Gunther is spectacular.
Yes.
I mean, watch any of his matches with Ilya Dragunov, and you'll see amazing matches.
What was it? NXT TakeOver UK.
Yeah, it's one of those, and they also did one. They also did one just on the regular NXT broadcast as well, which was really good as well. So
the one that you showed me where no holding back and just
just chopping like hamburger.
Yes.
Yeah. He hasn't done really brutal chops in a while, but he really needs to go back to just laying them some bitches.
Yes.
One thing I forgot to mention when we were talking about the Kevin Smith movies, this right here, my Clerks 2 DVD or Blu-ray case, I met Brian O'Halloran. He was the first one to sign this, and without me asking, he put "You never go ass to mouth."
Yes.
Tremendous. And then I went to a Comic-Con with a former friend, and I met Jason Mewes, and he was going to sign it, and I just said, please put "Fuck You Fatty" on there, and he did, and then he put "Snooch," which was funny. So I want to meet Kevin Smith, and I want to get this signed by Kevin Smith, and if I ever see Rosario Dawson doing a signing anywhere in the Northeast, I'm going and I'm getting her to sign this. So, and I'm going to have her put you. Sometimes you can go ass to mouth. So.
Sometimes it's forgivable to go ass to
right.
mouth in the heat of the moment.
Do you want me to do my rant now, or do you want to go into your next pick first?
Rant.
Okay.
Because I got a good idea.
Okay, so I want to write something down because if I don't, I'm going to forget the second part of this rant because I'm adding to the rant. So.
Yes.
So.
Wait, can I just do this? Nick picks Dave's rant.
Okay. So we went to a show in Vermont on August 31st. It's a World of Hurt show. We've had fun at a lot of World of Hurt shows. We were going mainly so this guy could meet Mick Foley. I've met him on a couple of occasions. I gave him an official Mr. Sacco, the WWF Mr. Sacco, and he got it autographed, and that's really cool. That was the main reason we were going. However, as we have by the Cheese Belt, we like Mikey Cheese. We like a lot of the World of Hurt performers. We were going to go see the show. Now, it said rain or shine, and the forecast was that there was a chance of rain. Okay, this was at it was in a park, and there was like a lodge and a pavilion, a covered pavilion, and it was on like the shore of a lake, which was fine. And rain or shine, I figure, okay, if it starts raining, it's going to be, they said it's going to be undercover. We brought our own chairs. We were ready to go. We pre-ordered tickets. We pre-ordered the meet and greet. And we get there, and there's like a slope, gravel slope leading down to, the lodge and the pavilion. We get there, we're in line, and, there's maybe 30 people in front of us or so. And we look in the pavilion, and they've got the bicycle rack set up in like, when you go to an amusement park and they have it, bending and, twisting so they can get more people in so the line doesn't look as long. Well, they have a table set up, and it starts to rain. No big deal. I figure it's not going to rain long, or the line might, I figure they'll move us into the pavilion underneath that so, we can, nope, not going to happen. And I want to say this right now, this is not shade on any one person. To me, I've gone to so many shows, and I've seen the way so many shows are run. This just really chapped my ass. And yeah, maybe we should have brought umbrellas because we knew it might rain. That's besides the point. The rain is not really the point of this story. It's part of it, but it's not really the point. We pre-ordered tickets. We pre-ordered meet and greet. We go to Zombie Hideout in Massachusetts. That is the most smoothly run meet and greet place I have ever been to. You pre-order, you get in one line. You buy the day of, you're in another line. Pre-orders go first. How is it that hard? And the guys in front of us, directly in front of us, had bought VIP, which was $100, where you get a front row ticket and you get the meet and greet. They're standing in the same line as us waiting, and there's people in front of us that still need to buy tickets. I get that it's a small independent show, and you might not have the staff. I'm telling you, you could find people that you give them a ticket to the show and a free meet and greet. They will run one of your tables for you, so people can buy tickets. I've seen it happen. I know it'll happen. I know guys that when I used to go down to Connecticut, I became friends with these guys because they were working the tables at every show I went to, and I guarantee you they weren't paid. So we're standing there in the rain, and we're getting more and more mad. The only reason I stayed was so he could meet Mick Foley. And granted, I did want to watch the show. I did. But then I hear people up front, and they're asking people their name and when they bought the ticket. And then this guy has a meet and greet ticket, but he didn't buy a ticket to the show, when it clearly says, wrestling fans, if you buy a meet and greet, it is never with a ticket to the show unless it's VIP, and it explicitly says it comes with a ticket to the show. You always have, same for conventions. Buying the meet and greet does not guarantee you admission to a show or a meet and greet. You have to buy a ticket for that. So that kind of bothered me as well. We're getting soaked, and there's two people going in at a time. And I'm looking at the bike racks underneath the pavilion where everybody that's in this line could have fit underneath that pavilion if they had just moved the table under the pavilion when it started to rain, and they could have done it from in there. All the seating, because when he was going to get his autograph, all the seating was undercover. That's cool. But that doesn't change the fact that if you had just changed one little thing, then everybody could have stayed dry, or at least not been completely soaked. There was only, maybe 3 or 4 people that had an umbrella, And like I said, I'm not trying to throw shade on any one person, because we have gone to shows and we have seen things that pissed us off and just made us wonder why these things happen. And that's just something that chapped my ass, and I said, they agreed, we're not staying for the show. This is just, we're not. We're doing the meet and greet, and we're going home. And I felt bad because Mikey Cheese was coming in as we were leaving, and he thought we were just going to our car and we were going to come back, so he didn't say anything to us as we were coming in. And I felt bad about that. And I felt bad that we didn't see his match, because I believe he was the first match on the show. But at the same time, certain things like this, maybe I shouldn't have let it bother me. But it wasn't just bothering me, it was bothering him, and it was I don't want to speak for you, but was it bothering you?
Yes.
Okay. And it was bothering his brother Billy, who was with us. It just, the more and more people were, saying stupid things at the table, and just, granted, my tickets, I had bought the two for me and his brother Billy, separate from his and his meet and greet, because I was waiting for the money from him, the total money, before I bought his ticket. So, because I didn't know if you were going to change, your day off was going to change or anything like that. So I bought ours first, because if worse comes to worse, just me and Billy are going to go, and sucks to be him, but that's the thing. And so it just, go to their shows. I'm not saying don't go to their shows, but for me, it was just a bad experience. And if they want to, if they want to give a response video to this or a statement, that's fine. If they want to talk to us directly, that's fine too. If they had said something to me as we were leaving, it probably wouldn't have went well, because I doubt I would be as restrained as I am right now. And to be honest, I was going to be more fired up today than I am now. And it's just, the more I think about it, it was just a bad experience, and it's not something that we should let bother us to the point where we don't go to shows anymore. And I'm not saying we're not going to go to shows, because we love shows. And I'm not saying we won't go to World of Hurt anymore. It's kind of soured me a little bit on going, but I'm not going to say definitely no. That day, I said definitely no, because it was just we were stewing about it when we left, and we're soaked to the bone, and it just, so that's all. Like I said, go to their shows, have a good time. They do good shows. We've had a lot of fun at World of Hurt shows before. They're having Dijak at their next show. You can't go wrong with having Dijak at a show. He puts on a great performance, great wrestler, just off of NXT TV. Go to their show, have a good time. They're having their costume contest. Just for me right now, I'm kind of over it right now. I'm kind of done. But that's what I wanted to get out there. And I'm not saying I know everything about how to put on a show. I've never put on a show. But I kind of feel like if I was there and I saw something like that, I would have spoken up and said, hey, maybe we should pull these people behind the barricade so they're not out there soaked. And maybe the way that we're doing this ticket system, have 2 separate tables, one for day of and one for pre-orders and VIP. Because the way I look at it is, if you buy VIP or you buy pre-order, okay, also, I get it. Some people don't have internet access and they can't, buy the tickets, beforehand. But a lot of people do. Most people do now. So I think if you pre-order, you should get into... if you go to a WWE show and you buy VIP, I guarantee you're getting in first.
Oh, yeah.
I've gone to the autograph signings and stuff where they're going through the line. Comic-Cons.
Yeah.
You're standing in line and you've got VIP, they're coming through the line asking who has VIP so they can get their wristband, and they're letting them go in before everybody else. You really need to reevaluate the way you do things. And this is not just for one promoter. It's for everybody. Because I've gone to shows and not everybody gets it perfect. And like we go to shows and all of a sudden the first match the microphone doesn't work or the music doesn't work, or it's like I want to be like, didn't you go in the ring with the microphone and test it before you started the show? There's little things, and I'm sure we're going to talk about little things at some point for most shows. It chapped my ass that day, and I've calmed down about it, a lot, but...
Good thing we gave you a week to calm down.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything more about it. It was a bad experience, and go to their shows, have a good time. Are you bored already?
Maybe.
So let's get into your next picks. What did you pick for your...
Wait a minute.
What did you pick this time?
SmackDown Episode 1.
That's right, from August 26, 1999. Triple H had won the world title from Mick Foley the Monday previous. I love the old open with the high-paced music.
Yes.
It's just generic music, but it was such a good hype-up song. I loved it. I know people love the set with the fist, from years later, but that setup with like the three rings kind of thing around the Titantron. They had like the side Titantron and then the little one in the middle that had the SmackDown logo like rotating all the time. That was my favorite set for SmackDown.
And let's not forget, that's the set that Chris Jericho got gored through.
Yeah, before they changed it by Rhino. I said before, I miss the Titantrons, I really, really do.
Yes.
And this was the promo that they've played so many times on promo videos where Triple H says, I am the World Heavyweight Champion in his Triple H voice, which was just funny. And of course The Rock interrupts, because The Rock, that's what he does. And Shawn Michaels comes out because he's the commissioner, and he makes The Rock against Triple H for the title, and Shawn Michaels makes himself the special referee. Shane McMahon tried to make himself a special referee, but Shawn Michaels says, no, you're going to be wrestling later on tonight, and you're going to be wrestling Mankind. And it was a kind of foreshadowing of the Rock and Sock connection, because I think this is the first time Mankind was doing the catchphrases walking down the aisle, so that was pretty cool. Jeff Jarrett and with Deborah and Miss Kitty against Mr. Ass. I thought it was a good match, two pros. I mean, Jeff Jarrett gets a lot of hate, but if you go back and watch his matches, he
was.
Mr. Ass got the win. It wasn't for the Intercontinental title. It was a non-title match, so...
Then China came down.
Oh, yeah, that's right. China came down because it was leading into their match at Unforgiven, so that was cool. You remember what the next match was?
Hardcore match.
Nope.
No, it wasn't a hardcore match.
Acolytes against Kane and X-Pac against Big Show and Undertaker for the tag titles.
And Undertaker was sitting outside the ring for
doing commentary.
Yeah,
which was great.
Yeah,
tremendous.
Because I think he was injured at the time.
Yeah, he was definitely injured. Non-stop triple threat match, and Big Show won single-handedly with a chokeslam on X-Pac. He got beat up most of the match, and then he made a comeback when Undertaker slapped him in the face. So that was cool.
He bitch slapped the Big Show.
I wish Undertaker had been around longer to kind of flesh out that thing, because I think they were leading into him against Big Show at Survivor Series, or maybe even the Royal Rumble. But the time off that Undertaker took led to American Badass, so I'm cool with that. But,
and I think he kind of needed it because of all the injuries over.
Yeah, he needed the time off. He was gone from September all the way until May, because he didn't come back until Judgment Day of the next year. So, but the next match was the hardcore match. The Big Boss Man and Al Snow, and what was the whole match about?
Poor Pepper.
Pepper, the little chihuahua, Al Snow's chihuahua. And this is the match where, allegedly, Pepper peed on Jerry the King Lawler outside the ring, which is just... I don't think the dog peed on him. Boss Man won the title. Andy still kept the dog. He just took it away, so that was kind of funny.
And this was leading up into... I think
the Kennel from Hell.
Yes!
With the big blue steel cage and the Hell in a Cell around it.
I still want to watch that match.
One of the worst matches of all time because they didn't get attack dogs. They had just regular Rottweilers that were humping and crapping and pissing their own ring. So, and then next was the in-ring debut of Chris Jericho. And I thought it was a good match. It was against Road Dogg. Road Dogg wasn't really a good in-ring performer, in my opinion. His was all about the promo and the the dancing and all the stuff that he did. You're
going to say gyration,
yeah, well, the shake, the shake, rattle, and knee drop, and all, just, nothing against Road Dogg. I met the guy; he's really cool. Just
him, the best one you still have to admit. Billy Gunn, he was going through your...
Oh, yeah, he went through my entire encyclopedia and signed every entry where he was in, Rockabilly and everything.
Yep, he's like, let me see this.
But he didn't sign Rockabilly Billy Gunn. He signed it Rockabilly. Unlike Kevin Nash, who, when I gave him a Diesel trading card, he signed Kevin Nash. So, Kevin Nash, there's another reason why I don't like you as much anymore. Not just the Super Shredder thing, Jericho got DQ'd for powerbombing the Road Dogg through a table. This was back when Jericho could actually do the double powerbomb where he powerbombs him and lifts him up and powerbombs him again.
Yeah, this is back before Jericho became shit.
Yeah. And then Howard Finkel runs out to the Ultimate Warriors music.
Yeah!
He shoved down Tony Chimmel, and then Tony Chimmel fought back and kicked Howard Finkel out the ring. This was back when they were having Howard Finkel as Jericho's lackey, which was cool. And then in 2002... they did kind of a funny thing with Finkel and Lillian Garcia, where he kicked her out of ringside and took over, and then Trish came on to him at SummerSlam 2002, and Lillian Garcia came out and did one of the coolest low blows ever, where she kicked so hard she knocked herself over, which was great. Howard Finkel. So Howard Finkel's always been great. And I've met him too, and he was such a nice dude. And then Shamrock comes out, and I forgot Shamrock was even in, the WWF in the summer of '99. But,
yes, he still was because he was coming off the Lions Den match.
Yeah, and then Jericho hit Shamrock in the head with a chair, and then Shamrock chased Jericho to the back, and they were going to lead to a match, but it never happened. Shamrock left after that. So.
But, let's not forget what happened when he grabbed Howard Finkel. What's that smell? Did you grab yourself? And he throws them.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could think of, no holds barred.
Yeah.
Dookie.
And then Test came out to propose to Stephanie McMahon, and Shane McMahon and the Mean Street Posse attacked Test. Mankind came out and helped Test out. And then Mankind says, I want the match right now. So, the Posse interrupted again, and Test and the Stooges came out and neutralized the Posse, but Triple H and Chyna came out and helped Shane win the match. So. And then an evening gown match. This thing couldn't have been more than a minute and a half. Ivory against Tori, and Tori didn't have an evening gown. She just had a dress shirt on that covered most of her. Tori won quick, just ripped the dress right off of Ivory.
I have to admit, I fast-forwarded to that match. Sorry.
It was only a minute and a half, so there wasn't a lot to pay attention to. And then Tori kept beating on Ivory after the match, and Luna, stopped her. So
of course, this was before the Divas Revolution.
Yeah, the women's title didn't mean a lot at this point because they weren't giving them time to actually have good matches.
No.
And Tori could wrestle, Luna could wrestle, Ivory could wrestle. You had Jacqueline there. They could have had a good women's division. They just never...
Nope, because Vince was an idiot.
Yeah, well, and then, of course, the main event for the WWF title, The Rock against Triple H with Shawn Michaels as the ref. I have to say it was an okay match. It was a typical Triple H Rock match.
Outside the ring most of the time.
You can watch any Triple H and Rock match other than the ladder match that they had, at SummerSlam. But you watch The Rock and Triple H in a match, they're having the same match. They're having the formulaic match. They're doing the same thing every match.
Yep.
It may not be in the same order, but it's the same thing every match.
Always outside the ring.
And The Rock went for the people's elbow. Shawn Michaels,
bam,
super kick, and
let's not forget Shawn Michaels' referee gear.
Oh, he had the banana smuggling shorts on, and it had like a tied off, training, his training school shirt. And, he's gonna get himself over no matter what he does. So Triple H retained the title a lot in the episode, and I forgot that all that happened in the premiere episode of SmackDown. I thought it was great.
Then, way before that, we had the pilot episode. That will be next time, people.
Okay. Let me write that down, the pilot. Which had Jim Cornette and Michael Cole on commentary.
Yes.
So, okay. Pilot of SmackDown. Let me write that down. And I'm gonna, because I even wrote it down, and I said I was going to write it down so I wouldn't forget it, and I forgot it. We're going to add to the rant. So, we applied for a free table at a Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
And got no information about it. Nothing. No word on it. No nothing. I sent messages over Facebook Messenger. I sent emails. Nothing. And the owner of the store, which is doing this Comic-Con, even though he says he's not, he said my store is not this con. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. He said, on a live video, when I put on the comments, what about this con? What about the tables? Are we going to get any information? Because I have a regular job. I have to request time off. The con is 2 months away. I'd kind of like to tell my boss we're not doing it. Whether he sends me a thing saying you've got a table, we're not doing it.
Nope.
Because I hate being lied to. I look back on the emails. The name on the email with the form to sign up for this table is the owner of the store that says we are not this con. I hate being lied to. And it's called Experience Con. What does this store just change their name to? Experience. Spelled the same way, same logo and everything, just without the con part and a different color. Don't fucking lie to the people that want to contribute to the thing that you're doing. Because we don't have a lot of followers, but the people that do watch this show may have wanted to go to your con. I was going to put it on our social media. I was going to put it on my personal social media, and I know a lot of people that like to go to cons. They probably would have went, but they're not going to now. Not because I say so, or not because I tell them about it, because I'm not gonna, because I don't give a shit about your con anymore. I don't give a shit about your store anymore. Oh, like I said, I hate being lied to. And there used to be a store called Omega Sports back in the day at the mall where and this guy was a shyster, and he milked people out of money, and he ended up the day that he was supposed to have a signing with Rikishi, I went in, and he had cleaned out his entire store and just closed it up, and you went to the mall, and they said, we don't even have an address for him. How do you run a store out to somebody you don't have an address for him? And then like 4 months later, he gets arrested in Niagara Falls for stealing people's merchandise. I'm not saying this store's doing that kind of stuff, but I hate being lied to. I hate it when people are shifty. And we've had fun going to their autograph signings before. We've met really cool people. We met Buff Bagwell. We met a lot of the ECW guys like Jerry Lynn and Jack Victory. I met Julia Hart, and we met Big Vito there.
Yes.
We met Eugene there. Al Snow. I met Al Snow.
Not Scott Hall. Scotty Too Hottie. Scotty Too
Hottie down there. Met Mark Marrow down there.
Yes.
Awesome, met Anna Jay down there from AEW. Kira Hogan met down. But unless there's somebody I really, really want to meet, I don't think I'm going to go anymore. Because just like before, this I'm throwing shade on. This I'm not saying don't go to their store, because that might kick people out of a job. Not that people are going to really listen to me about going to their store. But when you fucking lie to me about shit, the promoter of the show, that World of Hurt show that we talked about before, has never lied to me. Has never said, something to my face like, oh, this con isn't us. And then I can just look through basic things and find out it is you. You're the one that's running it. Your name is on the form. If it's not your store, then why is the owner of the store sending the emails with the form for the free table? I know how to add 1 and 1 equals 2. It's not that hard to figure out. So
it's 4, sucker.
Yeah, so we will not be doing this con whether you say we have a table or not. I would rather go to the con that I'm going to talk about later and do another table there. We're not this year. We're just going as fans this year. But I would rather do one there again and not have a single person grab one of our business cards than ever do one of your cons.
Exactly.
Ever. So if that hurts feelings, I don't give a fuck. So that's what I had. So, but what WWE pay-per-view is next?
I think Bad Blood is up next.
All right, and what match are you excited for the most?
Hell in a Cell.
CM Punk and Drew McIntyre is going to be Hell in a Cell. I think I saw that Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan is going to be Hell in a Cell as well.
Ooh.
So, but I think Gunther and Sami Zayn is just a regular match, which have 2 main Hell in a Cell matches and then don't do any other ones. You're having a men's one, you're having a women's one. Perfect. No, none of the other feuds need the Hell in a Cell, in my opinion. Unless you were doing Roman and Solo, which they're not going to do. I think they'd save that for Survivor Series.
Or Finn Balor and Damian Priest.
Yes, it makes sense, but I don't think that one is built up enough.
No, if they keep building into it later on,
yeah, definitely,
you can make it a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, but right now I don't think it has the steam. So the con I'm talking about that we are going to go to is the Wrestling Classic number 5 in October. I forgot the date. I have a list of who's going to be there. Jerry the King Lawler, Jim Ross. I mean, one of the most iconic announced teams ever. JBL and Ron Simmons, the Acolytes, the APA. The Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant. Deborah McMichael.
I think it was supposed to be October 19th or the 20th.
Okay, I don't remember. We'll talk about it again way before that.
Yes.
Shelton Benjamin, Dijak. The one I'm really excited for, Harvey Whippleman, that's just so awesome. That's so old school. Gerald Briscoe, one of the Stooges, just an icon, Gerald Briscoe. Missa Kate, I know she's a female wrestler. I think she wrestles on the indies. I don't know who she is. Maybe I should watch a couple of her matches. And then from the FBI, Little Guido.
Yes!
They're going to be announced. I'm sure they're going to announce more.
The one I'm really excited for, Gerald Briscoe.
Yeah, that's great. Gerald Briscoe, that's cool. I'm going to have him sign my encyclopedia. That's really cool.
I'm definitely going to bring a lot of money with me.
Yeah, because it's going to be... I kind of want to buy some merch this time.
Yes.
So. But the Wrestling Classic is run by Captain's Corner and Zombie Hideout. Zombie Hideout is the place I talked about before that does pre-orders with a separate line and all that stuff.
Yes, so and they do a fantastic job.
Their cons and their signings run smooth. When we went last time, we said, where's our table? They showed us right where our table was. We got set up. We were all ready to go. It was amazing. So we can't wait to go down as fans this year. It's going to be a good time.
Yes.
I mean, with that list, it's great. I saw Shelton Benjamin wrestle Daniel Bryan in 2010, right after Daniel Bryan got released for choking Justin Roberts with his tie. And Daniel Bryan said, I have indie commitments. When they were bringing him back, after he won the U.S. title and stuff, he said, I have indie commitments that I made. I want to honor those. And one of them was for Northeast Wrestling, and he wrestled Shelton Benjamin. So he came out with the generic WWE music that he was using when he first came back. And he had the U.S. title because he had just beaten The Miz for the U.S. title. So he's coming to an independent show while he's under contract to WWE, and he's wrestling Shelton Benjamin, who's not under contract with anybody. I took a picture of Shelton Benjamin in the corner waiting for Daniel Bryan to come out, and I'm gonna get it made into an 8x10, and I'm gonna have him sign it, because we've talked about before.
Yes.
I love having one of a kind stuff, and it's one of a kind of a picture that I took personally, and I'm gonna have him sign it. So I think that's gonna be cool.
And we both love one of a kind things.
Yep. So we won't be covering that on the next show because that's over a month away.
Yeah.
I'm giving him the AEW All In, All Out, and the TNA Emergence. It wasn't a pay-per-view, but they do monthly specials in between their pay-per-views.
Yes.
So I'm going to give him that too, because it has an Iron Man match between formerly Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, and Josh Alexander. And it's an amazing Iron Man match, so I want him to see that. And the rest of the card was good as well. So we'll review those. He'll probably skim through most of them, but we will talk about those. And depending on when Bad Blood happens and when we're going to record again, we'll talk about Bad Blood. And hopefully we'll be able to go see Alien Romulus before the next episode.
And on the next episode, I'll be talking more about the video games I've been playing.
Awesome. And we will be talking about the pilot episode of SmackDown. Get your sign, get your sign, get your sign. For Nick's picks. So, unless you've got anything else to add, I'm getting ready to wrap it up.
Are you going to wrap it before you tap it?
I don't know. I don't know if you do. So, so you got anything else to add, or?
Nope.
Okay. At Cheap Pop Show on social media, cheappopshow.com, cheappops.redbubble.com for merchandise. Buy a shirt, buy some stickers. We have cool logos. I think we have really cool logos.
This is just
not just these. We have like a Double Dare inspired logo and a G.I. Joe inspired logo and a Blow Pops inspired logo. Don't let the name fool you. It's actually pretty cool. I like it. And we have a Macho Man inspired logo, which I just put up on the site, by the way. I didn't tell you that.
How dare you!
So, yeah. So check out our cheappops.redbubble.com for merchandise.
Ooh, yeah!
You didn't even do your thing for merchandise.
Merchandising.
See, I got to hold your hand through the whole thing.
Hey, I wanted to do the Macho Man.
Yeah, and by the way, if I'm busting his balls a lot, there's some people that think he's like, I piss him off all the time because I'm busting his balls. We do this on a regular basis. We do this we did it for 4 hours in the car on the way down to the secret stash.
What about the hour going down to Vermont when we're picking on Billy?
Oh, yeah. Well, we pick on your brother. I pick on your brother all the time. But, he leaves himself wide open for it. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. Yes. I love Billy. So check out all our social media and be sure to check, hit the notification bell on YouTube, subscribe. It helps us out, and it'll help you know when we're going to have another episode. So I post it on our social media anyways, but you'll get it faster. Yes. That's all I'm saying. So thank you so much for checking out the show, even if you stayed this long, listening to my rants and our bullshit. Thank you very much to all the people that have always watched. Thank you very much. So
special thank you to your friend Dave.
Yeah, Dave's a loyal listener. He gives us pop feedback all the time and gives us great ideas. So thanks a lot, Dave, for listening. And your son, Aiden, I know, listens even though we use salty language. So thank you very much. Why don't you take us out this time?
Pop guys out.